Hello and welcome to Amethyst Star Crafting. My name is Jane Ormark and I'm a UK independent Stampin' Up demonstrator. And today we are doing a really fun project, and it's going to be in two parts, and I haven't decided which part I'm going to put first. So I'm going to do the same sort of introduction so that depending which one I put first, you'll be able to see. We are going to make let me just get the completed one that I've done. We are making a trifold concertina accordion tag holder. So it can fold up flat. It can go into a standard envelope, or I'm actually going to put it into one of these size envelopes, which is the standard sort of, business size envelope, because by the time I've got little bits and pieces sticking out of it, it'll probably need to go into a slightly bigger envelope. But it has reinforcement on the side, so that when you put your tags in, they're not going to slide out of the back and you don't have to do the tiny little glue bit in. So you have neat corners on there. You've got a little thumb hold piece in there, and you can then put your tags in. Now, I have done one tag already because these are going to take a little while. So you can see that you can put a tag in there quite nicely. It will stand up, so do it at that angle. It will stand up quite nicely on when all the tags are in, on somebody's mantelpiece. You can put whatever sentiments and things you want on the inside. You can then put on the back somewhere to write your message and stuff. And I just thought it was a fun idea. So I've played around with measurements and things so it works. And I quite like, I was recently part of a tag swap. And I quite like reasonable sized tags, particularly if you're doing a beautiful present and you want a really nice fancy tag to go on the present. You don't want a tiny little one. You want something substantial. Well, this will work perfectly. And again, you could have it instead of a tag, you could put it on the back and do some journaling or something. You can do whatever you want with it, but I just thought that it was a nice idea and it stands up, and I thought, yeah, okay, we'll play around with that. So we're going to be doing the tags on this one, and as I say, I'm not sure which video I'm going to put first, whether I'm going to put the construction or I'm going to do the tags. I haven't decided, so whichever way round you watch it, there will be one video which shows you exactly how to make all of this, and there'll be this video which shows you how to make some of the tags. So this is one we are going to replicate again. And then we're going to do one that's going to be just a little bit different. So you need, to do 3 tags, you need 3 pieces of Whisper White cardstock, and these measure 5 inches by, no, let's do it the other way around. Okay. This is the backing, okay, so this is going to be the back of the card. This measures 5 1/4 inches by 3 inches. So 5 1/4 by 3 inches. Your mat is going to be 1/8 of an inch smaller, okay? So that is going to measure, if that is 5 1/4, this is going to be 5 1/8, and if this is 3 inches, it's going to be 2 7/8. So you just have just a little bit of a border in there. I didn't want a too big border because the paper in Forever Greenery has all sorts of different greens in, so it's nice to sort of combine it with them. And I've made the tags the same as the back of the tag holder. So let's get cracking on this. We're going to start with the first one, and we're going to replicate this one first, I think. So for this one we need some We get all the pieces out. We are going to do, first of all, in Forever Fern, we've got a lovely To a Friend That Makes Me Smile, and I really like that. So we're going to have that one. We're going to punch that out in, doesn't really matter where it goes, just have, I've got some little scrappy pieces on here that I had left over from cutting out the main piece. So we can use one of these, and we are going to stamp it out in, just get this one out of here. I've done it in Old Olive with Mint Macaron and Just Jade, different sort of greens that really sort of tone together, but you really can use what you want. So the sentiment is going to be in Old Olive. So we can just put that up on here. Doesn't matter whether it's upside down or back to front because it's going to be punched out. So that's done in the Old Olive. And then we can take, I've got all my little bits and pieces on the desk here, so I can just grab, oops, no, that's a circle punch. What have I done with, there it is. The rectangular postage stamp punch, I really like this, and it just works perfectly with so many things. So we can put this in on here and just take it, let's do it this way so we can see it, line it up centered. Like that, and then we can punch that one out. So that's that bit. We're then going to sponge that in Mint Macaron. So as I say, all sorts of different colours and things going on. So I'm doing 2 tags the same and 1 different because I think that that'll work quite nicely. So Old Olive for the stamping, Mint Macaron for the sponging. Yes, I thought it would be quite fun to do something different. I've got a few birthdays and things coming up for people, and I thought it was quite nice. I like to sometimes just give a little handmade gift to people, and tags and things are always useful, particularly, you know, we tend to make a lot of tags at Christmas time, but not necessarily all year round, and yet we send presents to people all year round. So I just thought it would be quite a fun idea to do something that would combine them both. Right, that's all the sponging we need to do on there. So that's our little centerpiece done. Let me get my... Simply chamois out. Give that a clean up. And then we are going to take, for this one, we are going to do some overlapping stamping because, as I say, being a tag, it doesn't really matter that much. So let's take our tag out here and put that down. Let's take the colours. The colours on here, we're doing Old Olive and we're doing Just Jade. Again, all of these greens just sort of combine and work beautifully, and I wanted it slightly different from the outside because all the papers are very different colours when you've got all the papers together. So I thought mixing and matching them would work quite nicely. So we want the coordinating sort of leaf, which if you look at this paper, that's the leaf that goes with it. So we're going to take that one and let's put this on a slightly bigger block. And then we're going to do this with Old Olive. So we need to take, this is my one at the top, one at the bottom. So some of you will remember this from another card that I've just done recently. So take it fairly straight. And we'll have one at the top there. Turn it round, take it fairly straight. And we'll have one on that side, on the other side, so they're all in, but they're fairly tight up to the edge. And then this one can go, my lights are shining on me so I can't see. That's a bit better, I think. Let's bring it down. I do struggle when I have my lights right above because it's, it doesn't work perfectly. So that's going to go there. And then we are going to take the inside piece, which somebody turned around and said to me, the little sort of bobbly one, is eucalyptus. So there we go. Thank you so much for letting me know that it was eucalyptus. And so I can now confidently say that we are going to be using Just Jade, and we are going to be using the eucalyptus leaves, which are this one. That can go on a slightly smaller block on there. So we're going to ink that up, and this is going to go slap bang in the middle and a little bit sort of up at the top. So give it a good press, and you can see how it does work quite well, just sort of overlapping. You don't have to sort of take it out. Now, if you have the dies, you can use the dies. Unfortunately, I haven't got the dies because they're out of stock at the moment, so I wasn't able to get them. So when they are in, I may well get the dies, but I might not. I don't always get dies because sometimes you think, well, if you're going to do a little bit of fussy cutting, you can probably manage. And although, as I say, it's something that I did have on my wish list, I haven't got it yet for a good reason, because they're waiting. It was so popular, it ran out of stocks, and they're waiting new to come in. Okay, so we've got that running there. We can then take our sentiment, and that can go right over the top. Now, we have some new ribbon coming, and I thought that I would show you this just as a little bit of a sneak peek of what's coming in the new catalogue. So I'm going to put a piece of this across the top. That's why I wanted the mint macaron round the edge of the postage stamp. So we can just take a little piece off like this. I need that ribbon in a minute to do the top piece. So easy way to do the ribbon, and I'm using the new stamping seal because, as I say, I find this one a lot easier than the other one. And we're just going to do a line down the centre, and we can take a little bit down on there, and then we can tuck it over afterwards. So by doing that, you can then line your ribbon up exactly where you want it, in the middle and nice and straight. Smooth that down and it sticks beautifully, and then we can put the other bit on here. So it does sometimes stick a little bit, but not nearly as much as the other one, in my opinion. So we'll just pop that in so that comes nice and straight. Pop the other side in so that comes nice and straight. And then we've got our ribbon where we want it down the centre. And then we can put, now I've got a little bit more space at the top here, so I'm going to do it on that one. And then we'll have this on just with a couple of dimensionals, which I did have some dimensionals out. I'm going to use some pieces of this. So let's just take a little strip on there and a little strip on there. And we'll have a strip at the top and the bottom. As I say, always use the sides of your dimensionals because they work exactly the same as the inside pieces, and it's that waste not, want not. You can use them for everything. So I'll just have that in there and that down there. It'll work for that one. I'm not having it so it attaches onto the ribbon because I want to have the ribbon free. So let's get the end of that off. Whoops. I want the words the right way round. Line it up on my grid paper. Pop that in on the centre, like that, and that's a lovely sentiment on there. Then you need a hole punch of some sort. Now I've got a crocodile and I'm using the big hole, And I'm just going, oops, no, I need to, getting ahead of myself then, I need to put it on my backing paper first, don't I? Right, so this is the garden green, which works perfectly, and again just the 1/8 of an inch, so I can just use this on here, get some glue right the way across on there. Whoops. Move it round a bit. Come on. You were working well. A little bit of tackiness on there. It's me turning around and saying it does work actually very well, this one. But sometimes, and as I say, it might be my technique. I've tried everything that I can think of, but sometimes it just seems to get stuck a bit. But then I have seen most people having to start it off, so I think it's probably just what this glue does. So oops, that doesn't seem as if it's wanting to go in all right. But anyway, right, we'll do that from there. Let me get those pieces out. That should, with a bit of luck, I think I need just a little bit more down on here, don't I? Otherwise, where the ribbon is, it's not going to go perfectly. That should be fine. Oops, make sure I haven't got that on my finger. Right, let's get this stuck down on here. So we just need that little 1/8 of an inch border. All the way around, and then I just need to press. The good thing about this Seal Plus is it does stick it down really well, even when it's right up against ribbon. So that has stuck beautifully, which wet glue would take a little bit longer to do. Okay, so now we can take our hole punch, and we just need to do a hole down the center like that. And then we just need to thread some ribbon through. Now, I'm not going to do that bit now because I want to get on to do the other one. But we've got now one in on there, one in on there. So you've got the two that have To a Friend That Makes Me Smile. And then the second one, the one in the middle, will make it a little bit fancier, I think. So what are we going to do with this one? Okay, let's take a bit of the, have I got any scraps of, oh, okay, I've got this one. So I'm going to take the punch, and I'm going to take just a piece of this down in on here. Doesn't really matter where I'm doing it on this one because I am going to put something sort of over the top, but I want some with quite a bit of the mint macaron in, because I'm going to sort of use it on there, I think. So I'm literally just taking a piece in like that. Okay, so we're going to have that in on the center like we did with one of the other ones, but I want to do a bit of sort of stamping and stuff round on there. So let's have a look and see. We're going to go into this stamp set again because I really love it. But this time we're going to use these little tiny leaves because I don't want too much on it. I just want to do as I did when I was fussy cutting the little pieces round. Now I've got the stamp set, I want to do it with, now I'm going to do it with Old Olive. I think will probably work on here, or Granny Apple Green. Let's do it with Granny Apple Green, shall we? That's quite a nice, bright, vibrant green on there. So we'll take the Granny Apple Green, and I just need to ink it up, and we'll have one there. take it round the other side. I'll have one there. Then I'm going to do one second generation. This is going to come out third generation, but I think it'll, yes, that'll work on there. So we've got that and that in like that, which is rather pretty. Now we've got a bit of sort of black and things like that in it. Do I want, I'm not going to do any more actually. I don't want to over egg it, as they say. I want it to remain sort of fairly pretty and simple and not too much in there, but you can see how you can get different tones with the same stamp set. And we're going to have on this one, we're going to have hello. So let's get the little hello out. Don't even know if, oh yes, have I used this one? No, I haven't. Okay, so we've got a little hello on here, which will be quite nice. So let's take that out of there. Ready to go on this bit. Now I do want to try and do I? No, I'm going to leave it. I was going to do a little bit of black or something like that on it, but sometimes, as I say, less is more. What I do need to do is to sponge around the edges. So let's take the Granny Apple Green. That one's the bright one, isn't it? So we're just going to go around the edge of this with the Granny Apple Green. This is where I always end up getting blobs on my fingers, because I stick my finger underneath when I'm sponging around the edge, and the other day I had the most dreadfully bright green looking finger, so that'll be fine on there. Just make sure I don't get my fingers all in it. Okay, so we now have this piece is going to go on there like that. Make sure I've got my greenery sort of growing up. Yes, I have. Okay, and this we're going to take in, am I going to do it in, I think I'm going to keep it in Granny Apple Green actually while I've got that one out. I could do a different colour. No, I'm not. I'm going to do just jade, just to make it a little bit different, because I like to mix and match the colours a bit. Have I got just jade out? Yes, I have. Thought I'd put it out somewhere. So let's get the just jade out. And we'll put this hello just in on here, upside down, but that doesn't matter. And then I need to just get the classic label punch, excuse me, for standing up and reaching up on my shelf, because that I'm hoping it will fit. I think it will. Oh yes, that'll work perfectly. So take that out in there, make sure the space is about the same and straight. Whoops, like that. Don't know whether that was perfectly dried, but that'll work. So we'll have hello in on here like that, and then let's put I need to put that punch out of the way just for a minute. Right, so on this one we are going to have, I think I want to do just a few little spots and things on here maybe. Yes, I am. I'm going to take some of these little speckledy spots because I just want a little bit of extra something in on there. It's too plain just at the moment, but I think by the time we've got a couple of little spots and things in, it will work quite well. Now I'm going to do the spots in, you see, I should have done the sentiment in black. I think black would have worked better. I'm going to take that off. I'm going to use some black for the spots. So we're just going to have a set of spots up there and a set of spots down there. And I want to do them at the side as well. On that side. And one that side. Then we are going to do, because that will take just the little bit of the really dark, which looks like virtually black, and we are going to, while we've got it in here, because it'll take 2 seconds, we're going to take the hello, which is still out, pop it on here, and very quickly do a, going on there, won't it? A black hello. Yes, that's better. Just needed that little extra colour combination. Sometimes it works well to blend all together sometimes, but other times you just need a pop of something else. And because this cardstock has got, cardstock designer series paper has got this little sort of black speckledy bit, it needs to have something on there that's going to just balance it a bit. So right, let's get this done out quickly. Can I do it without shaking? Down that side a bit. Okay, right, that's better. So we can have this in on here, that in on there. Okay, yes, that works a lot better. So I'm quite pleased with that. There's one other piece that I need to add to it, but we'll do that as we go. So this has got to go on to its background. So I'm going to take that off. Let's do our glue if we can still get it to work. So we're not having any ribbon or anything on this one. Not on here anyway. So just take that down there. And it's getting a bit tight up in on here. Okay, so that'll go on there. And again, we've got our 1/8 of an inch border. Like that. Then this piece is going to go on with dimensionals. So let's cut, we can cut a couple of big pieces on here. So let's have one at the top. One at the bottom. Take this off. Make sure I've got my plant growing up the right way. And it's relatively straight, like that. This one has got to have a little bit of dimensional on here. I'm actually just going to cut off a strip along here. Make sure I put that in straight, like that. And this is going to go on there over the center, like that. Now we need to do our little hole. So again, I need the big punch in on here. But whatever hole punch you've got, get that in the center. Okay, so we've got that. Excuse me, a little piece off on there. And then what I've done, because I wanted to have something else on this, I have taken from, and I did it beforehand because I knew that the video was going to go on too long otherwise, from Tasteful Touches. It is, have I got Tasteful Touches out? Yes, I have. I got it out to show you. So Tasteful Touches, as you know, I absolutely love this one. Used it lots. The feather works beautifully, I think, with this. and the feather, which is why I wanted the mint macaron, we're going to have the feather hanging down there to just give a little bit of extra something to that tag. Now, I think I'm going to use, we've got some rather nice copper, which copper will go with absolutely everything. So we've got the copper ribbon, and I think I'm going to use that as my tag piece, and I'm going to have that in on there. I might have that tied in a little bow. We'll see. We'll do this piece first, I think. And let's see. So what I did was I just did a tiny little punch piece in on here. So I'm just going to tuck that in first. No, I'm going to do it the other way around actually. We're going to have this coming in as the bow. So let's just tuck. This is how I would do the other bows as well. But as I say, I know that the video is going to go on way too long. But that's a lovely, absolutely lovely bow on there. Really like that. So, and then we can have this one coming in and just sort of dangling like that. Now, I've got some twine. Now, this twine is, say, I've had it quite a while, but that will work perfectly. So we just need a little piece of, doesn't matter what twine you've got. This is some retired, but it just gives that little bit of sparkle in there. So we're going to have this as like a little hanging charm. So all I need to do is to just tuck it in underneath the bow on here that I've done. So I'm just easing it open. We can take this down. Tie ourselves a little. So we want this about that. Doesn't matter where it comes. Let's put this one in. Oh, this is going to be a bit tight, isn't it? Need to ease that up a bit so I've got a bit more length. And then we should be able to tie ourselves just a little bow in here. I tell you what, I struggle so much tying bows on camera. It's one of those, well, I struggle with bows anyway. My hands don't ever tend to work very well, so, but I am determined to get this little bow done. So this is where you just fast forward this bit on the thing until I've got it done, and then you go, oh, that looked good. Or you sit there laughing as I struggle away. That's better. Let's take that in just a little bit, that in just a little bit. Give it an extra bit of a pull. That's nice. So we can just cut this little piece off of there. Tighten this one up. And then you've got this, which just literally just sort of sits in on the side and just gives it extra little bit of texture. So let's go back up and put this one in on here. So you've got now 3 different tags in the nice little holder. And I think if you gave that to somebody, they would be really pleased with that. And as I say, you know, they can have it on their, you can't see that obviously because it's that way up, but it stands up really quite nicely. Have it on their mantelpiece, or as I say, you can fold it flat. You could tie it with a ribbon if you wanted to, but the idea is that it just stands up there nicely. And as I say, just put another piece. You could do it exactly the same size as the tag, just to go on the back to put your message on. But it's very sturdy. I think they look really very pretty, and I think anybody would be delighted to receive a little tag thing like that. So thank you so much for watching me. Do look forward to seeing you again. As always, stay safe and stay well and be kind. Bye bye.